Hi, we're Jill and Jerry, the Cruising Canucks, and we just recently spent 7 nights on the beautiful Holland America's Volendam.
The Volendam was launched in 1999, so when we sailed on this ship in May of 2024, it was 25 years old. The ship's last major refurbishment was in 2019. The ship is 777 feet long, which is actually slightly smaller than the Titanic, and she holds 1,432 passengers at maximum capacity. There are a total of 9 decks on the Volendam. The first 3 decks are mainly passenger cabins. The first 2 decks only have interior and ocean view with a porthole. Cabins on the 3rd deck do have cabins with larger windows, and some lanai cabins even have sliding glass doors that walk straight out onto the promenade. To see where we are in the ship, be sure to watch for the red maple leaf on the map on the right side of this video.
All right, so we're starting this tour on deck 3. This is the atrium, and you will see this kind of unique feature that runs a few decks up, but there's convenient staircases right there that brings you to all the art of the ship. And also, deck 3 is where our cabin was.
There are 3 elevator banks on the Volendam with 4 elevators at each. We never had a problem getting an elevator, and often when we pushed the button, the door would open right away. And rarely would anybody get in on our way up to whatever floor we selected. On deck 3 there is the covered promenade deck.
And it is a walkable deck. It walks around the whole perimeter of the ship. You can go from the bow to the stern and go on each side. These cabins you're looking at right now are the lanai cabins. They're kind of unique. You have a patio door walking out onto the common area. They do reserve those chairs that you saw specifically for people with those lanai cabins.
The promenade deck does extend all the way around the ship, and this is the forward part of the promenade deck. If you walk 3.5 times around the promenade, it equals 1 mile.
Those cushions you see there, they put out every morning on the deck chairs, and you will notice some noise from that if you have a cabin on deck 3.
There is beautiful art throughout the Volendam at the landing of the staircases and elsewhere around the ship.
Right now we're walking into the World Stage Theater, which we absolutely loved. Look at the space that you have in these seats. You have a variety of options as to what to sit in. These bucket chairs, the loungers, lots of space, tables for having drinks. There was bar service in this venue prior to the show starting each night. It was never overly crowded that you couldn't get a seat.
There is a second level above the main level that was very popular during our cruise.
In this theater, we saw some wonderful shows. This is an example of the entertainment that was on board.
We're going to look at the maple leaf, the Mounties, the Van Doos, and Winnie the Pooh. All of them represent Canada. All of them.
Coming out of the main theater on the port side is the photo shops. Here you can find photos as well as accessories you might need for your camera. If you need that extra memory card or a battery, you might be able to find it here. We're looking at the atrium here. You can see the staircases that extend from the 3rd floor all the way up to the 5th floor. Again, more comfortable seating if you're waiting, but there was hardly ever a wait here at guest services. Right next to guest services is shore excursions, where you can stop and book your shore excursion. We did one excursion on this cruise, but we didn't book it here. We just used the app and booked it right that way.
And of course, one of the shops. There are a variety of shops on deck 4 and then a few more on deck 5. And this is another section for photos for if you wanted to do a private photo session.
Here is one of the specialty dinings. This is the Pinnacle grill. There are plenty of tables that are spaced out so you don't have to be worried about being too close to your neighbors.
And there is an upcharge for this restaurant. We had a dinner here on our last night of the cruise. The food was delicious. The service was wonderful. Look at that candy bacon in front of us.
I had the clothesline bacon along with the halibut.
While I went with the surf and turf, that is a prime rib you see there with a lobster tail.
Moving aft, the Pinnacle Grill, you come up to the theater. We were surprised at how large this theater area was. Nice comfortable seats, and there was often many people in here catching one of the 3 shows that played daily. Walking after the theater is the hallway that has all the plaques from where the Volendam has visited over the years.
We are entering into the main dining room here on deck 4. The lower level of the deck would be where you come if you have anytime dining. You would check in right here at the station. A very beautiful dining room, classic cruise style dining room, I would describe it as. We loved that the spacing between the tables was generous. You never felt like you were on top of other people.
It clearly had been refurbished and updated. It was never loud despite all of the people being in here. Mrs. Canuck even did a meal with an upcharge that included a steak and lobster for $18, and she loved it. I tried the veggie menu while I was aboard for the entire 7 days and had wonderful meals each night, but I did have to pre-order the meals the night before. Now we're on the 5th level, the after the ship. The Queen's Room is a small little room that's used for specific events throughout the cruise, and this is the 2nd floor of the main dining room.
So we ate dinner on deck 5 on the upper level of the main dining room, an example of where we came in to have dinner every night. This is the ladies' washroom. Don't normally film the bathrooms, but I had to include this, ladies, because this was, a beautiful bathroom. 2 spacious sofas. Look at the ocean views that you have from the bathroom. I've never seen that before.
Moving forward of that ladies' washroom is the Explorer's Lounge. There's a small little area in there to play cards. And right across from that, you find the future cruise desk where you can book that next cruise while you're on board.
And now we're looking towards the Explorers Cafe. This was a very popular venue. Everybody was here to get their morning coffees, but the line was never large. It sort of connects into a lovely lounge where there is books that you can borrow. There's tables set up for you to play chess. Just a lovely, relaxing venue. We often saw people in here playing cards, reading books, just relaxing, enjoying their cup of coffee. This is the Hudson room where they would do bridge tournaments and other events like that. We're coming up to what they call the Explorers Lounge. Used to be what we would think would be Lincoln Center Stage, but this is where now what they're using this venue for is ports of call information sessions were going on there nightly.
These seats here, leading from the Explorers Lounge towards the piano bar, gave a great view for those that wanted to enjoy sail away with a drink and a little bit of music in the background.
We are now in the piano bar. It's not like the Pinnacle class ships that have the dueling piano. It's a solo piano player, more classic piano bar that you would think.
Beside the piano was the mix bar, where there was a solo guitarist that would play every night. These venues would alternate back and forth with the guitar for 45 minutes. It was Volendam's version of the music walk.
I'm so lonesome, I could die. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me.
Connected right beside it is the jewelry shops, which became a bit of an issue when they were doing their sales promotions when you were trying to listen to live music.
We were impressed with how large the casino was for the size of the ship, and even though there was smoking, we were surprised at how little the smoke moved from the casino to the surrounding venues. Heading towards the Ocean's Bar, there was a large map that showed you where you were on your itinerary.
And walking into the Ocean Bar. The Ocean Bar was a very popular venue. They had happy hour specials daily and live music from early in the afternoon into the evening.
There was a step up to another level of the Ocean Bar where there was even more seating and a great view of the live band that played every night. We absolutely loved this venue. We loved the drinks here. We loved the atmosphere, and the music was top notch. In the back corner of the Ocean Bar is the bar itself. You can cozy up to the bar on the stool and order your favorite drink.
So across the atrium from the Ocean Bar, you're going to find some more shops.
Moving forward from the Ocean Bar and the shops, you go to the top level of the world stage. This busy spot gave you a higher vantage point of the theater shows.
We found that the balcony level was the most popular area for people to sit. A lot of people would like to sit up there, and it filled up a lot faster than the main level.
At the back corners of the second floor of the main stage was these little stairwells that were rarely used but handy for getting between levels really quickly when you're trying to get out of the theater. So after deck 5 we have deck 6 and deck 7, which are all staterooms, many of them suites and balconies, before you move on to deck 8.
So we are now on deck 8 forward of the ship, and this is the fitness area, the workout center. Lots of equipment here. And here we are at the greenhouse spa, which we didn't use, so we can't really comment on that.
Here at the main pool, there is a retractable roof with 2 hot tubs and a very warm pool.
They seem to be able to manage having that open and close when needed, depending on weather. Here we are at the Dive-In Burger Bar. You can place your order. They will give you a pager. Within 5 or 10 minutes it goes off and you have a fresh made-to-order burger.
There is also a taco bar located right beside the Dive-In Burger. You could grab yourself a little snack while you waited for your burger.
There's ping pong tables right next to all of the action there. Lots of loungers. There was never a time where we couldn't find a spot.
And the 2 hot tubs that you find in this space were never busy. I think only once of the 7 days that we were on this cruise did we have to share the hot tub with another couple. Between the bar and the pool is this cute little seating area where you can sit down with a drink or maybe a snack and dive in.
Here's the pool bar. There is often waiters taking orders for drinks. Here's an example of some of the artwork that was left behind by the Ukrainian refugees that were housed on the Volendam at the beginning of the war.
So moving aft of the Lido pool, we get to the Lido market. One corner of the Lido market has Canaletto. This is another one of the specialty dining, specializing in Italian food.
So here we are in the buffet. We were very impressed with the buffet. For the size of the ship, the buffet we thought was well stocked with lots of selections. We were expecting it to be smaller than what it was.
The time we filmed this buffet tour, it was breakfast time. They were making fresh omelets. You can even get eggs Benedict on demand through the breakfast period. There was crepes being made fresh with all your favorite fillings, more fresh fruit, and of course the delicious pastries that we try to avoid but we just can't on a cruise. All your regular breakfast fare, from sausage to eggs to potatoes to bacon to hash browns.
We like that the Holland America buffet, there is some items that you can serve yourself, but the majority of hot items is served to you by staff. We are now going to the aft area of deck 8. There is another pool here.
We didn't spend a lot of time here because we were always able to find a lounger at the main pool, but there is a bar back here. And when you move up to deck 9 and take a look towards the aft of the ship, you have a great view, not only of the port you're in, but of this nice relaxing space. Move a little forward of that point and you come to a pickleball court. It was very interesting that this pickleball court was separate from another court that they had basketball on the other side of the ship.
We're going to the kids club area. They do have different clubs depending on the age of the children that you are traveling with.
They have several different age brackets for children to attend the kids club. We didn't see a lot of children on this sailing. They do have facilities if you do bring a young one. This is the basketball court that's on the opposite side of the pickleball court. Moving a little farther forward, you find some shuffleboard.
Here we are overlooking the deck 8 midship pool area. This roof was opened or closed depending on weather.
Just to control the temperature that was inside the pool space. You go up one more deck here at the forward part of the ship, and there's this wide open space that you can see all the way around the ship. No loungers, but lots of space to take it all in.
Also on deck 10 is the Crow's Nest. This is a beautiful venue with great ocean views. You're at the forward part of the ship overlooking where you're sailing. Lots of spacious seating.
There's lots of comfortable seating here. You would often see people in here enjoying a nice cold drink, even possibly a coffee in the morning, as well as a dance floor that was popular, especially during the Orange Party that was held in this area. This was one of the best Orange Parties that we've had on any Holland America ship. Crow's Nest, always one of the favorites for people that cruise the Volendam.
So this concludes our ship tour of the Volendam, one of the smallest cruise ships that we've ever been on, which we really enjoyed. It never felt overly crowded. There was lots of entertainment, and we had a marvelous time.
We would recommend this ship to anybody that wants to try that small ship experience but doesn't want to sacrifice entertainment or what you expect from a cruise. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our vlogs that show what it's like day in, day out aboard this classy ship.